Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
At least 10 states, including California, anyone who doesn't fall under being a male or female can label themselves as X for non-binary. The first case taking place in 2021 for an intersex individual. I'm Ruby Rivera, your neighborhood reporter. However, a new executive order aims to ban this and gender ideology.
What this executive order transparently is setting out to do is to say that these people who are part of our larger LGBTQ community don't exist or shouldn't exist and can't be recognized.
Chief Legal Officer for Lamba Legal, Jenny Pfizer, says by President Trump proclaiming only two genders going forward,
it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
It can limit the amount of resources people receive, such as proper housing and services that match who they are. The executive order also calls for agencies to place those in jail based on their gender assigned at birth.
They're likely to be at considerable risk of physical and sexual assault and other problems, such as possibly not being able to continue on the medical care that is necessary for them. These are very serious problems, very serious abuses of federal authority.
Pfizer says when it comes to implementing these changes, things may look different in California due to the laws put in place to protect LGBTQ plus members, such as still being able to self-identify on paper.
Federal government does not have authority to tell states what states must do with their vital records. So people who live in states that have issued accurate driver's licenses, those identity documents should not be at risk at all.
On a more local level, state officials have also been speaking out on Trump's recent order, with Attorney General Rob Bonta stating, here in California, the LGBTQ plus community is and will continue to be protected under a myriad of state laws and California's Constitution. The president cannot eliminate fundamental rights by executive order, nor can he order federal agencies to violate the law.
Although the executive order was signed by President Trump, it still needs to go to the Office of Federal Register. If enacted, it's still unclear as to how the president will apply these changes. In Bakersfield, I'm Ruby Rivera, your neighborhood reporter.
Hey, what's going on, family? This is Ty for No Picks Podcast.
Family, what's good? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
Joe, Trump hasn't been in office for a month yet, and he is coming out the gate swinging. He's swinging on illegal immigration. He's swinging on, LGBTQ issues. What's your thoughts on him, signing an executive order saying, hey, the federal government is only going to recognize two genders, male and female?
All right. So Ty, when we have this conversation, we got to be careful, because we're talking about the alphabet community. We're talking about a protected community, and I don't want to get canceled or demonetized or deplatformed or considered, transphobic or homophobic or none of those things, right? So I'm trying to speak about this topic with respect, right? So let's just make sure that we do it respectfully, which was we intended to, but I just want to put that out there, right? So we knew this was coming because Trump kind of ran on this issue. He was anti-woke, all the stuff that was coming out of the woke left. He was against that on the campaign trail, spoke out against it. And we knew during his inauguration speech that he said under my government, there will only be two genders, right? So he even said it in his inauguration speech. So we knew this was coming, right? So no surprise. There should be no surprise. Now, here's my thing, right? So I personally feel like there are just two genders. I know that's going to make me a transphobe. I know that's going to make me a TERF, whatever term that there is. I know I don't say that to be disrespectful. That's how I honestly feel. There are just two genders. There is male, there is female. Even if you're a trans woman, you're still a woman. Even if you're a trans man, you're still a man. You're still dealing with two genders. You know what I'm saying? Like man and woman, trans man. That I can, even though I don't understand it, I can see, all right, we're still dealing with two genders, right? Man and woman. You were man, you want to be a woman. You're a woman, you want to be a man. But anything else, I don't even know what it is, bro. Like, what else is there to identify as like that? And like I said, some people are gonna say you're just ignorant. You haven't read the research. Listen, bro. In my honest opinion, there are just two genders. So something like this for me makes sense. But because I don't fully understand gender and how it could be fluid or on a spectrum or whatever the language is, because I don't fully understand it, I don't want to I don't want to dive too deep into it and speak out of ignorance. But my heart honestly tells me that there are just two genders,
Right.
and that the fact that the government has to recognize that in 2025 is just so indicative. It's so reflective of where we are as a society, right? Like that we have to come out and say that explicitly. We're only recognizing two genders, right? More I can say, but that's what I had to say for now, right? Like it's a lot, but that's my initial thought. Where are you at, bro?
I mean, listen, I respect Trump. I respect Trump for what he's doing. Like, what's crazy is that we're even having this conversation and we're scared to really have it. Cause it's like,
I
it's,
know, bro.
you feel what I'm saying?
I
Like,
know.
it's we're in a place right now where like everything is so ridiculous that like you gotta at least pretend to acknowledge the ridiculousness. Cause if you don't, then you're a hole.
Right.
So it's like this thing where, you know, everybody has their own truth. That's a ridiculous thing to say. Like it's subjective, right?
Right.
Like, so in the article, or in the news thing that I played or whatever a second ago, they specifically mentioned, you know, how it's going to affect, you know, people who self-identify as far as like prisoners go. You guys or gals or whatever y'all want to, whatever, y'all should be in the prison of whatever, like, you were assigned at birth. Like, that's the safest thing for everybody involved, because when you put a person, if I commit a crime and you put me in a Delaware state prison, and I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't want to deal with them dudes. Put me in there with a chick. I identify as a chick. Half of the prison will be pregnant. Cause I'm hitting everything. Cause they gonna listen. It's not even gonna be like they're gonna want me to, like, because they don't got no options anyway. So like y'all shouldn't put out the prisoners as a group of people that should be, you know, like in the front of this movement, because no one cares about prisoners. Like, take the women out of it, right? Because I know women are a whole different dynamic. People are a little more sensitive to women. With men, Joe, let me ask you this question: in a man's prison, do you care if every man in that prison is like a rotating system of men getting violated by other men? Do you care? Like, is this something that you think about and be like, damn, like, this is messed up, we got to change this?
I think it is messed up, bro. I think
Okay, but
prison grape is real.
interested in, like, you, I can understand that you think it's messed up, but do you think it's something that you're interested in putting your effort forward into changing this system of man on man prison mayhem, or let's just call it that?
I'm against all forms of assault, bro. So like the fact that it happens in prison for me doesn't make it. Now I'm not saying that you're saying this, but like it's wrong no matter what, whether they're outside of jail or inside of jail. It doesn't make sexual assault okay, or for me, like it's
But
still
are you
super problematic.
more likely to do something or say something about a person in the street that's a regular free citizen, or a person in jail that has proven themselves to be a relative detriment to society? Like, who are you going to advocate for more?
The person who's not in jail.
But like, these people in jail, like, people, we turn a blind eye to that because most people just don't care. Like even if we care on the surface, we're not going to do anything about it, because it's like, okay, you made your bed, bro. And I'm just talking about women in particular, right? I mean, I'm talking about men in particular, right? Because when you add women in, it adds a whole different thing. But men getting got in jail, like, that's not something that's gonna ruffle your feathers. You're gonna sleep fine at night.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate, but that's why we be saying people like, yo, don't go to jail. Like,
Mm,
we make jokes about the booty bandit, but like we
right.
know, like, it's
You'd be like,
real. Like, there are dudes
well,
in there
nigga,
who are gonna,
you went to jail. You knew what to expect.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy, bro. Don't family, don't go to jail. Please don't go to jail.
But it's
No,
crazy
but
because no, go.
yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, as far as like recognizing the two genders, and I know we probably have the same level of like knowledge on this topic, but like, so he means that, so what they mean is that if it's passed, there's only going to be male and female, right?
Yeah.
So would he still recognize a trans woman as a woman and a trans man as a man? Like, does that mean that they can't identify as trans, or like, what is
I mean,
does that?
from my understanding of it, even in the military, if you trans, you can identify as whatever you want to identify as, and they'll accept that. They're like, okay, cool, it is what it is. We don't care.
Okay.
But if you're like, hey, I'm a two-spirit dragon, niggas like, bro, we don't recognize that.
That's what I'm trying to see. Like, if, like I said, I agree that there are two genders. That's just me, my personal opinion. So, like, what other genders are there? Do we know? Like,
Bro, let's look this shit up. Just talk for a second. I can pull this up right now, bro. It's literally like
I'm just
1,000 of them.
curious. Like, what else? What are we not recognizing? Right. So that would help me get more perspective. Because in my mind, I'm like, you're a man or
Right.
you're a woman. If you're a trans woman, you're still a woman. If you're a trans man, you're still a man. Like, you know, you're still dealing with two genders. What else is there?
No, yeah, there's like 1,000 genders, bro.
Are you serious?
Yeah, the people. Listen, all right, I'm gonna pull it up right now.
That's for me is when it get ridiculous. This is when it gets ridiculous.
All right, I'm gonna share this right now.
Yeah, I think this perspective would help the conversation because I'm like, what are we voting or what are they trying to get rid of? Like, what are these other genders? Let me see them.
81 types of genders.
AFAB? That's a gender?
AFAB. AFAB stands for assigned female at birth.
Okay.
First gender, we got 81 types of genders. A cult.
I'm about to put my eyes on.
Is from Myanmar. A cult is a gender from Buddhist people of Myanmar. It describes people who are AMAB, assigned male at birth, who have been assigned by a female spirit god named Amagon. Bro, come on.
No.
Come on, man.
No. Keep going. No. No.
AFAB.
No. What's a gender?
A gender. People who do not have a gender. That's nonsense. This is nonsense.
And do not fit. So you can identify as a gender. Okay, whatever. What's alien gender?
Alien gender are people who neither male or female or agendered. They are people who experience.
No. See, I'm looking at it. I'm like, see, I'm trying to
This is
defend
nonsense.
it a little bit, or open up my perspective. Androgynous.
Agomorphous. An agomorphous person is neither male or female. Their identity is considered ambiguous. What the fuck does that mean, bro? Like, this is nonsense.
I've heard that before. Yeah, what else is there? Because so far they sound ridiculous, right? Like, AMAB stands for assigned male at birth. It's gender identity often assigned to people if there for any reason they need to know a person's gender. Nah, whatever. No, male or female, whatever, you know. Often androgynous, express elements of both masculine and feminine. No, I know, I heard that. A poorer gender, who do not identify with any specific gender, they may feel that they have no gender or that their gender is undefined for a variety of reasons, such as feeling like one does not fit into any existing gender categories, feel like all equally valid. Nope. Avarani, people from in the state of the people who display femininity in a masculine body, but often go through physical transformation, so their bodies match their genders. No, it's like different cultures have different words for like trans or like
Albania.
gender for Albanian culture.
Mina. The British Mina gender from Albanian culture who has been taking the vow of celibacy. Bro, they add no taking a vow of celibacy. They add all this. Come on, bro. Like,
all right, let's see a few more. But I'm looking at this list and I'm like, so this is what we're trying to
bigender. This is probably more reasonable. Bigender people experience two genders either simultaneously or at different times. These genders can be any combination of male and female. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
So let's skip the foreign ones, right? Let's just go to
because they're like more cultural /
some of this stuff seems kind of crazy. Siberia, cisgender.
Cisgender.
All right, we already know what that is, right? That's pretty simple.
Cis female. All right, we know what that is. I hate those terms, by the way. I'm not a cis anything. I'm just a male. Demigender.
Demi boy. I never heard that before.
Partially male. They're not fully male or fully female. They are a mix.
It's nonsense, bro. Demigender. Demigender are people who identify as partially male or female. Same thing, right? Demigirl. Demigirl is a person who identifies as a partially female.
Well, we just needed some examples, family, because we're like, what are we ruling out, right? If Trump honestly passes this legislation and we only identify as two genders, remember all these are not going to be recognized in the U.S., right? Maybe in their other countries they'll be recognized, but in the U.S. it's going to be male or female, so you won't be able to identify any of these other things.
Demigirls may or may not undergo hormone therapy or surgery. So you don't even have to do anything in order to be considered some of these things. You could just say that you're this thing.
It's how you feel. It's just a feeling. It's what this is how I feel. So
That's not
this is
American.
what I'm
That's
going
not
to
American.
identify as. Like, yeah, there's a lot of cultural, spiritual
Female.
ones.
You got
We
to
know
put
that,
female on there,
right?
huh?
Femme? What the hell is that? Describe a person who identifies as a woman.
Who express
No,
themselves in a feminine way.
someone used
Feminine
in
can
the
also be used as
LGBTQ
a male.
community to describe a lesbian whose comportment is traditionally feminine. So a feminine woman who's a lesbian is a femme. Okay.
Gender. Wait, what was it? Male.
What's
Okay, we all know what that is.
okay. All right.
What the hell is that? God damn it! What's going on my computer? All right, we had the demigirl,
Yeah. All right.
cisgender.
I've seen some examples. I mean,
Oh, sheesh, bro.
I've seen enough. All right. So with that perspective now, right? We had to do that, family, because we're like, what are we voting against? Not we, but what is Trump trying to get rid of, right? So you saw some of those. Now, I know someone's gonna be offended. I know someone's gonna be upset. I still feel like there are two genders. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody's culture because we saw some spiritual ones there from Siberia and from the Buddhist one, spirituality. We're really not trying to disrespect you. Um, I just feel like this complicates life way more than it has to, and I'm okay with returning it back to something a little bit more simpler. I am. I believe that there are two genders. The other ones just sounded ridiculous in my opinion, and I know someone's going to be offended, Ty, but that's
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
personally feel.
I think. How about this? If me as a man, if I punch you in the face as a demi whatever, like what's the charge? Like, are you like you because you demi whatever is partially a man, right? Because if I punch Joe in the face or if I punch Sabrina in the face, that's two different reactions from the law.
Right.
First of all, if I punch Joe in the face, there's probably not going to be any legal thing that happens at all. It's just I punched him in the face and that was it. But if I punch
Right.
Demi Joe in the face, that might be something different. So I think like y'all just sound okay. Y'all sound silly, bro. Like I'm sorry. Like I'm
It
not trying to.
complicates things, bro.
Yeah, y'all
It
sound
really
silly.
does. I and it's I believe that in life, like there are just mutations that happen, right? In nature, there are things that happen in nature, like the fact that some of us have melanin and some of us don't. That is a genetic mutation, right?
Right.
Like melanin is, so there are things that happen evolutionarily. So in my mind, is a possibility that some people are just born and because of some kind of genetic mutation or just something was different when they were created, or maybe the elements that there are lots of things that could happen when a child is being conceived and growing in the womb, right?
Right.
But there's a possibility that someone just is born and is just like, listen, your concept, I know I'm a man and I know I should know what a man is and I should feel like a man, but I just don't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, bro. I don't know if that falls into the mental health realm, though. You know what I mean? Like, is that mental illness or mental health? Like, I'm not trying to offend anybody once again,
Yeah.
but like, I don't
But
know.
my
I don't know,
personal
bro.
opinion,
This is
Joe,
ridiculous.
is that I think this is the way that people feel special now. Like we talked about this before. Like before, in order to feel special, you had to have some kind of talent. Maybe you were an actor, maybe you were an actress, maybe you could rap, maybe you could play basketball, maybe you could play
Yeah.
the fucking flute incredibly, like whatever it is. Like you had to have some kind of like special talent in order to be like, damn, like this person's different than everybody else. Now,
Right.
a cheat code, if you don't have any talent at all, a cheat code to kind of skirt around those kind of requirements to be special is just identify as whatever you want, because that will earn you some
Yeah.
immediate attention and praise.
I could see that. I could see there's some truth in that. I do that for some people. I definitely feel that is it, especially the people who do it as to be trendy. There's some people who do it just to be trendy. You know what I mean? Like, and I know they do because people have said it. But so yeah, there is some truth in that side. Like, absolutely. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to. I don't know, bro. I got to see it in action to see how it plays out because I certainly don't want to strip people of their rights. I don't want to invalidate people. Like me, for example. Like now on a census. I'm half. My father's black. My mom is Hispanic. So usually on a census, I would just put Latino or Hispanic. But now there is no Hispanic. They've removed it from the census. So now
Oh,
Hispanics are just lumped into Caucasian. So some Latinos are saying like, I feel like I've just been erased. My reality has been erased because now I have to pick Caucasian. I don't identify as Caucasian. I don't live my life as a Caucasian. But the
Right.
census has removed. They're saying Latino or Hispanic is an ethnicity. It's not a race, right? So there are some instances like that where you feel like you could erase someone's identity. Like, I don't know if you've been following that issue, but like, I can't pick Latino anymore in the census. Now I have to pick. They labeled me when I went to do my fingerprinting for my job. They were like, I was like, "Where's Hispanic?" The guy who was fingerprinting me at the Philly police department was like, "That's not a thing on the census. You just got to put Caucasian." So I was like, "No, then put me as black." I was like, I'll just take that instead because I identify close. So there are instances where like someone's identity could feel like it's being taken away from them. You know what I mean? Like that in that instance, I felt that way.
Right. Right.
So maybe someone feels that way with this new recognizing two gender thing.
Right.
So I leave room for that too. I just don't know what it's gonna look like, bro. I'm curious to see what happens. Definitely.
Well, listen, let us know what y'all think, family. Trump, listen, regardless of how you feel about Trump, he getting active. Like Trump is getting active with
Active.
you. Well, let us know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.
Until next time.